All right. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome to the video. Here we have with us a gentleman by the name of Tony. Tony Tayuk. So, Tony, welcome to the video.
How are you guys? Thanks for having us, Andrew.
It's a pleasure. All right, guys. So this, what we're doing here is we're introducing Tony and the company. Tony's one of the directors of Inhouse Granny Flats. And these guys do an amazing job. Lots of our landlords and lots of our clients have used Tony and his team for a very, very long time. And I can honestly recommend these guys. But we have a couple of questions, Tony, that our clients generally have about Granny Flats. So if it's okay, we wanted to ask you a couple.
No problem.
Thanks, Tony. So, Tony, how long have you guys been in the game of building Granny Flats?
Look, we've been in the game of the business of the granny flats when it essentially came out. So all up, it's approximately 15 years we've been doing this, and we've booked over probably about 2,000 granny flats over that period.
Geez. Okay. All right. So you've been in a long time and geez, you built a lot.
The lifespan of granny flats, Andrew, just so you know, it's a very, very short lifespan. So it doesn't take long to turn them over, which is an advantage to the client or the vendors. So they the interest on their repayments doesn't take too long, and they quickly, if they're going to go for a construction loan, the whole idea is for the builder to get in and get out so they can start generating a rental return to help them pay off their mortgage quicker.
You've actually segued into the next question, which is why are you finding, I mean, I know why my clients are building their granny flats with you, but just generally, Tony, why are people building granny flats? What's the reasons you're finding?
Well, the whole idea of people building granny flats is so they can get ahead. You've got mothers and fathers, his and hers, couples all working. And what they're finding with the interest rate and economy, the way it's going now, it's just not enough to get them over the line. The average grocery bill now for the average family is about $450, plus the expense of the ongoing yearly expenses of services, insurances, electricity, what have you, where they're living. Plus the rental from the original one property they have now is not covering their mortgage. So the whole idea is going for the secondary income is to help cover the mortgage and stop them from putting their hands in their own pocket for topping up the monthly repayment every month. They might be borrowing a little bit more on their principal loan, but the short amount they're borrowing, which is roughly 150 to 180,000, the rental return on that covers the shortfall, and then they end up being, most of them, in most cases, end up being positive geared instead of negative geared.
All right. And Tony, just quickly, like with regards to the approval process, right? So one of our clients has bought a property or they own a property already, and they're looking at the opportunities of building a granny flat. Like just quickly, what happens?
So basically, from the time they say, okay, let's look into building a granny flat, behind me is the process of the approval. So the first thing they will need is their planning certificate to make sure they're not flood affected or bushfire affected, and also a sewer diagram. Once they've got those two documents and we can build the granny flat and things are going ahead, we'll organise a survey, do a concept plan. Once the concept design is done, only the client will say, yep, I'm happy with the design, let's proceed. And normally once we get a sign off on the design, 3 weeks after that, the granny flat is approved. We'll then send the draft drawing to all the consultants, get it over the line, engage a private certifier. So the whole basic approval process could take up to 5 to 6 weeks.
Yep, gotcha. You know what? You've answered exactly as I've asked it. So thank you very much, because I get asked this question a lot, Tony. So thank you. And can I just ask another question? Your company, do you guys build like brick veneers and like vinyl clads, or just bricks, or what do you sort of do?
Out of a lightweight construction or a heavyweight construction. Heavy being which is the most popular people are doing now.
Yep.
And the people that are on a tight budget, or they're making their rental income, like a lot of the properties we have out in Blacktown, Seven Hills, Later Park, you've got the old original clad. Some people might say, look, I want to match the cladding of the existing house, which we then do. Some of them say, look, I know I've got a clad house, but I'm planning on renovating or building my main dwelling in the future. So give me a brick granny flat, and when I build the new house at the front, I'll match it. Some of them we are even attached to the existing house because there's no room at the back. We're going to attach it on the side. And some of the houses in Blacktown, and I've just finished one in Seven Hills, the house was so set back from the front, we ended up putting the granny flat at the front of the property attached to the main house. So some
Yes,
properties,
yes,
a granny flat does not have to necessarily be in the backyard. It can also be in the front yard. If your house
yes,
is set back enough to allow it, and your property is not projecting more than your neighbours, you can definitely
yes.
in the front yard. It's very, very popular now, especially in the Layla Park area, where a lot of the houses are set back a lot.
Now, Tony, I want to draw back to something very positive about you guys, something I haven't even told you about, and what that is credit to you guys. Credit to you guys in that, I guess, like us and our real estate here as well, you guys have been around for the test of time. You guys are not a fly-by-night sort of company. You've been around for a long time. That I like about you guys, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm an advocate for your company. As well as that, you guys do a good job. I have had people that I've known that have tried to save $1, and almost every time, Tony, in doing that, it stung them. It stung them in headaches, problems. I've even heard of granny flat builders going bankrupt, all sorts of things. But you guys have been around for a very long period of time. And for that, I'm a big advocate of you guys, Tony. You do a really good job.
Thank you. One thing we're very, very proud of is during the COVID period, and straight after that, construction prices went through the roof. A lot of builders were dropping. We stayed very, very strong. We had about $1.4 million in contracts that went up in value through the construction. So our dead overhead was about 1.4 with construction price increases. Some of our good clients came back and said, look, Tony, we know what you're going through. We're happy to contribute what they can.
Wow.
Clients said, look, we're very limited. We've borrowed money from the bank. Please, we can't contribute. And we honoured all those people, the ones that helped. Actually appreciate to the people out there. I mean, you can't have people, some of them are your tenants.
Your
landlords. Landlords.
Clients.
Big thank you to all who did help us. We're very strong. We came through. We didn't let anyone down, and we're even strong now as we speak.
Like I said, and I'll say it again, I try to surround ourselves with people like you guys. Whether it's our granny flat builders, our plumbers, our painters, the trades, the network is everything. So, Tony, what I'll do is just sort of end it on that. So basically,
just on that, Andrew, one thing you've got to understand, like a lot of these investors and these landlords, they might have a property where they can't put a granny flat on, Andrew, and we're getting a lot of this now. And so what they're doing, they're improving the main dwelling by adding on the bedroom, or they're renovating that kitchen, or they're doing up that bathroom. And that's actually getting them that extra little bit of $80 to $90 extra income per week. So it doesn't really mean they have to always be putting a granny flat to get ahead. They can improve the existing dwelling and making the asset a bit more richer. In return, they're getting higher rent from their tenants, and people are looking after the property. We find the properties that are run down, the tenants tend to neglect them a little bit, but if you give them something done up, the tenant tends to look at it and look after it, so they can stay there longer, and they keep doing the niche over and over.
And that actually ties into one other thing as well. Guys, you all might remember about 2 or 3 months ago, I had a guy by the name of Bradley Beer on these videos. He's from BMT, from the tax and depreciation, and any capital works or any improvements, renovations you do to the property, that also potentially is a very, very good tax relief as well. But now, Tony, just before we leave, I'll certainly, in the post of this video, I'll give people sort of ways that they can get in contact and have a chat with you guys. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
Located in Castle, we've got a showroom. This is the showroom where we're sitting down. We always do really, really good sit down and screen the clients and make sure that they are making the right decision. And you'll be surprised, some of our clients will tell them, look, maybe you shouldn't be building a granny flat on this property. Maybe you should consider selling the property and upgrading to another property where you can actually fit a proper granny. So it's not always, it doesn't always really end up with a granny flat. It just depends on every circumstance, but we're not here about giving the false information. We want the right information, helping them build their wealth. And what they have to understand, it's not always about making money, it's about saving money. That's how you get ahead.
That's how you get ahead. No, Tony, mate, I love it. Thank you for your time. And what we'll do is we'll be shooting this video out to everybody. There will be a link and a way they can inquire, and then effectively I'll put people in contact.
Andrew, we love your energy, mate.
Love it.
We love your energy. Love working with you guys, and really appreciate talking to us.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. See you, matey.
Sure.